Organizational culture is like the personality of a company. It's made up of the shared beliefs, values, and behaviors that everyone in the company follows. For example, if a company values teamwork, people will work closely together and help each other out because that's what's considered normal or right there. Organizational culture affects everything a company does. It influences how people behave, how decisions are made, and even how the company treats its customers. For instance, a company with a friendly culture might make sure their customers always feel welcome and cared for. In management, there are 4 key functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, POLC. When we talk about organizing, we mean how a company arranges its people and resources. Organizational culture plays a big role in this because it helps decide how teams are formed, who reports to whom, and how people work together. Organizing means making decisions about how a company is structured and how people work together. It's like setting up the rules for how things are done in the company. The way a company's culture works is connected to how it's organized. For example, if the culture encourages teamwork and freedom, the structure will need to support that. Imagine a company where employees are used to making their own decisions. If a manager tries to change the structure and control everything from the top, it might not work well. The employees would resist because it goes against the culture they are used to. A company's culture can be its greatest strength or its biggest problem. If the culture is positive, it helps the company succeed. If it's negative, it can hold the company back. Some companies have a special culture that's hard for others to copy. When this happens, it can give them an edge over their competition. In a survey by a consulting firm, business leaders from around the world said culture is just as important as a company's plan for success. A big study by a Harvard professor found that companies with a strong and healthy culture grew their profits by 756%, compared to just 1% for companies with weaker cultures. This shows how much culture matters for success. When everyone in a company shares the same values, it can help the company perform better because people work well together. Culture also controls how employees behave. It guides what's seen as right or wrong, without needing strict rules. A strong culture is a more effective way to manage how people act than relying on a bunch of rules. Managers should understand and shape the company's culture because it helps them organize and control the company better. Google believes that if their employees are happy, they'll do better work, which will make customers happy too. Their culture encourages flexibility, teamwork, creativity, and personal growth. This helps everyone work together and constantly improve. One unique thing Google does is a program called Googler to Googler. In this program, employees teach each other new skills, anything from yoga to how to manage teams. This helps them grow and work better together. At Netflix, the hiring process looks for people who are good at working with others and show empathy. Even if someone is talented, they might not get hired if they have a bad attitude. Netflix values people who are excited to join and fit in well with the team. Netflix gives employees a lot of freedom, like offering unlimited vacation time. This shows that they trust employees to manage their own time and still get their work done. Netflix has a strong honesty policy. They believe that if you wouldn't say something to a coworker's face, you shouldn't say it behind their back. This helps keep respect and trust in the workplace. Explanation. Next slide. These are the deep beliefs people in the company have without thinking about them. For example, everyone might assume that hard work always leads to success. They don't talk about it, but they all believe it. Values are the shared ideas and goals that everyone follows. For example, a company might value teamwork and always encourage employees to help each other out. Another example is valuing creativity, where people are always trying to come up with new ideas. Artifacts are the things you can see that show the company's culture. For example, if you walk into a company and see an open office with no cubicles, that shows they value collaboration. Or if everyone wears casual clothes, it shows a relaxed work culture. Explanation coming up. Companies with innovative cultures are always trying new things. They are flexible and open to change, and they encourage employees to experiment with new ideas. In these companies, there isn't a strict ladder of bosses. Titles like manager or director don't matter as much, and everyone's ideas are valued. A good example is W.L. Gore & Associates, the company that makes Gore-Tex, a fabric that's waterproof but still lets air through. Another example is 3M, which works in many areas like safety, healthcare, and consumer goods, and is known for its creative products like Post-it notes. Companies with aggressive cultures focus on being very competitive. Their main goal is to beat their competitors, sometimes at the cost of being socially responsible. Microsoft has been seen as a company with an aggressive culture, always aiming to be the best and outdo others. In these companies, people might use strong language like "we will crush our competition," showing how seriously they take winning in the market. Outcome-oriented cultures focus on achieving goals and getting results. They value actions that lead to success. Best Buy, the electronics retailer, has an outcome-oriented culture. They keep track of sales numbers and other important figures every day to see how well each department is doing. In these companies, both employees and managers are held responsible for their performance. Instead of just rewarding people for being with the company for a long time, they give bonuses based on how well someone performs. Studies show that companies with a strong focus on performance usually do better than those that don't emphasize results as much. Stable cultures are all about following rules and being predictable. These companies operate in a very organized and bureaucratic way. When things in the business world are stable and predictable, these cultures can be effective because they provide consistent results. They stick to established processes and routines. However, stable cultures can struggle when things change quickly. They may not adapt well to new situations because they prefer to follow set rules. An example is Kraft Foods, which has a strong bureaucracy and is known for being stable. While they produce consistent results, they are not really known for being innovative or creative. People-oriented cultures focus on fairness, support, and respecting everyone's rights. These companies make it a priority to treat people well. In these organizations, there's a strong expectation that everyone will be treated with respect and dignity. It's about creating a positive environment for everyone. A great example is SAS, a software company. They offer lots of benefits to their employees, like on-site childcare, which helps workers balance their jobs and families. The CEO, Jim Goodnight, believes in treating employees well, saying, "Treat employees like they make a difference, and they will." This approach leads to a loyal and dedicated team. Companies with a team-oriented culture focus on working together and helping one another. They value collaboration among employees. A good example is Southwest Airlines. They train their employees in multiple roles, which means that if someone needs help, others can step in and assist. This teamwork creates a supportive environment where everyone pitches in to get the job done. Detail-oriented cultures focus on paying close attention to every little detail. This is really important for companies that want to stand out and provide high-quality service. In industries like hospitality, being detail-oriented helps companies be more precise and gives them an edge over their competitors. A great example is the Four Seasons hotels. They work hard to provide exactly the kind of service each guest wants. They keep detailed records of each guest's preferences and past experiences. Employees at Four Seasons need to be very attentive and good at keeping track of these details to ensure every guest has a wonderful stay. A strong culture in a company means that most people share the same values and ways of thinking. When a company has a strong culture, it strongly influences how employees think and act. For example, if teamwork is a core value, employees will naturally collaborate more often. A strong culture can be good or bad, depending on the values. If the values encourage innovation, it's an asset. But if the values promote secrecy or discourage new ideas, it can be a liability. One downside of a strong culture is that it's tough to change. For instance, if a company always values strict hierarchy, it's hard to switch to a more flexible and open approach. During mergers, strong cultures can cause problems. When two companies with different values and ways of working come together, there's often a clash. For example, if one company values creativity while the other values strict procedures, it can create conflicts. Subcultures are smaller groups within a company that have their own unique values and ways of doing things. These can develop based on the personalities of employees and managers or the specific type of work being done. Example: in a tech company, the marketing team might have a different subculture compared to the IT team. The marketing team might value creativity and bold ideas, while the IT team might prioritize precision and careful planning. Subcultures form because of different personal traits and the varied nature of tasks. For instance, a team working on creative projects might develop a fun and relaxed subculture, while a team focused on financial auditing might be more formal and detail-oriented. A counterculture is a type of subculture that actively opposes the main values of the company's overall culture. Example, if a company values strict procedures and formal communication, a counterculture might emerge in a team that prefers flexibility and informal interactions. A counterculture can be accepted by the company as long as it delivers good results and helps the organization succeed. For example, if a rebellious sales team consistently meets its targets and drives profits, the company might tolerate their different approach. Explanation coming up. The founders of a company play a big role in shaping its culture. Their personal values, preferences, and vision for the company deeply influence how the organization develops its unique way of doing things. Example: if the founder of a startup values innovation and risk-taking, the company is likely to develop a culture that encourages creativity and bold ideas. The type of industry a company operates in also affects its culture. Industry characteristics and demands create common patterns among organizations within the same field. Example: a company in the tech industry might develop a fast-paced, cutting-edge culture, while a company in the healthcare industry might focus more on precision, safety, and care. In the early days of a company, the initial values, goals, and assumptions set by the founders become the foundation of the organizational culture. Example: if a company's early goal is to provide exceptional customer service, this focus is likely to become a core part of its culture, affecting how employees interact with customers and each other. People are naturally drawn to companies that match their own values, personalities, and needs. Example: if you care a lot about environmental issues, you might be attracted to work for a company that is known for its eco-friendly practices. Companies hire people who fit well with their culture. This means they look for candidates who share similar values and attitudes. Example: a company that values teamwork will likely hire individuals who enjoy and excel in collaborative environments. Employees who don't fit the company's culture tend to leave over time. This means that those who stay are the ones who best match the company's values and ways of working. Example: if someone prefers working independently but joins a company that heavily emphasizes team projects, they might eventually decide to leave if they don't feel comfortable or productive. Through this process of attraction, selection, and attrition, the people who stay at the company become more and more similar in terms of values and attitudes. This makes the organizational culture stronger and more consistent. Onboarding is the process that helps new employees learn everything they need to know to do well in their new job. This includes understanding the company's attitudes, gaining necessary knowledge, developing skills, and learning expected behaviors. Example: think of onboarding like the first day of school. You learn where everything is, what you need to do, and how to fit in. When a company does a good job of onboarding, new employees start to feel like part of the team. They feel accepted by their coworkers and become more confident in their ability to do their job well. Example: if a new employee is given a warm welcome, proper training, and a mentor to guide them, they are more likely to feel comfortable and perform better. New employees should take initiative during onboarding. This means actively learning about their new role and the company. Example: ask questions, seek out resources, and try to understand how things work. It's important for new employees to ask for feedback. This helps them know if they are on the right track and how they can improve. Example: after completing a task, ask your manager or colleagues how you did and what you could do better. Making connections with coworkers is crucial. Building strong relationships can help new employees feel more comfortable and supported. Example: introduce yourself to team members, join them for lunch, and participate in team activities. Organizations should have a structured orientation program to help new employees understand the company's values, norms, and culture. Example: explain the company's mission, vision, and core values during orientation sessions. Orientation programs should also familiarize new employees with their specific roles and introduce them to their teammates. Example: provide an overview of job responsibilities and arrange meet and greet sessions with team members. A good orientation program helps new hires feel valued and comfortable in their new environment. Example: host a welcome lunch or give new employees a small welcome gift. Role of organizational insiders. Leaders. Leaders play a crucial role in onboarding by sharing important information and offering support to new employees. They help new hires understand company politics and culture. For example, a manager might explain how decisions are made in the company and introduce key contacts. Next, coworkers. Coworkers also significantly influence how well new employees adjust to their teams. They can help new hires feel included and provide guidance on day-to-day tasks. For example, team members might invite a new employee to lunch or help them navigate their first projects. Next is mentors. Mentors are experienced employees who guide new hires, teaching them the ins and outs of their jobs and the company's way of working. For example, a mentor can show a new hire how to use the company's software, explain unwritten rules, and offer career advice. Number 1. Influence of leaders. Leaders play a key role in creating and maintaining an organization's culture. Their actions and decisions directly impact the overall culture of the organization. Number 2. Leader style. The style of a leader often reflects and shapes the organization's culture. For example, a leader who values innovation will foster a culture of creativity and risk-taking. Third is role modeling. Leaders influence culture through role modeling. Their behavior sets an example for others, showing what is considered acceptable and unacceptable within the organization. For example, if a leader consistently works collaboratively and respectfully, employees are likely to adopt similar behaviors. Number 4. Reactions to others. Leaders also shape culture by how they respond to the actions of others. Positive reinforcement for desirable behaviors and constructive feedback for undesirable ones help reinforce the desired culture. For example, praising an employee for excellent teamwork or addressing issues like tardiness immediately helps set cultural standards. First, influence of rewards. The reward system in a company plays a significant role in shaping its culture. The behaviors and outcomes that are rewarded or punished tell employees what is valued in the organization. Second, types of rewards. A key aspect of the reward system is whether the organization focuses on rewarding behaviors or results. For examples, if a company values teamwork, it might reward employees for collaborating well with others. And if a company values achieving sales targets, it might reward employees who meet or exceed those targets. What is cultural change? Cultural change is a major shift in how an organization works and operates. It's not just a small adjustment, it's a big transformation that affects the whole organization. Why do organizations change their culture? Organizations often need to change their culture for several reasons. Number 1. Rapid environmental changes. When the world around a company changes quickly, like new technology or market trends, the organization may need to adapt. Next, increased competition. If many new competitors enter the market, a company might need to change how it operates to stay ahead. Next reason is expansion. When a company grows and enters new markets, its culture may need to shift to fit the new environment. Another reason is mergers and acquisitions. If two companies combine, they will likely need to create a new culture that works for everyone involved. Last but not the least, need for comprehensive change. Sometimes, a company needs a complete overhaul to improve overall performance and effectiveness. When a company needs to change its culture, it's crucial to make employees understand why the change is necessary. If employees don't see the need for change, they might resist it. Successful leaders talk to their teams and explain why changing the culture is important. They help employees understand that this change is not just an option, it's essential for the company's future success. For example, think of it like this: if a team is losing games, the coach needs to explain that changing their practice routine is crucial for winning. The coach would highlight how improving their skills and teamwork can lead to better results. Similarly, leaders should present clear reasons for cultural change, showing employees that it's a step toward making the company stronger and more successful. When a company wants to change its culture, it often starts with changing the leaders. Leaders set the tone for the entire organization, and if they resist change, it can slow down progress. Now, sometimes, certain managers or key employees might not support the changes needed. To make things easier and faster, the company might need to let go of those individuals. This way, the new leaders can help guide the organization in a fresh direction without facing resistance. For example, imagine a sports team that isn't performing well. If the coach refuses to try new strategies, the team might continue losing. The team owner might decide to replace the coach with someone more open to new ideas. This new coach can then implement changes that help the team improve and succeed. Role modeling is when leaders show the behaviors and attitudes they want their employees to adopt. Employees often look up to their leaders and will try to mimic their actions. When leaders demonstrate positive behaviors like teamwork, respect, and hard work, employees are more likely to follow suit. This helps create a culture where everyone is aligned with the desired values and actions. Think of a basketball coach who encourages players to always support each other and communicate on the court. If the coach consistently praises teamwork and shows enthusiasm, the players will start doing the same. This creates a team culture focused on collaboration and success. Training programs play a crucial role in changing an organization's culture. They help employees understand new ways of thinking and behaving that align with the desired culture. Next, let's talk about what training does. Good training teaches employees about the new norms, like what is expected in terms of teamwork, communication, or customer service. It helps them learn how to act in ways that support the organization's goals and values. Imagine a company that wants to focus more on innovation. They might create a training program that encourages creative thinking and problem-solving skills. Through workshops and activities, employees learn to share ideas, take risks, and think outside the box. This way, everyone becomes more comfortable with the new culture of innovation. The way employees are rewarded or punished is a key factor in shaping an organization's culture. If employees see that certain behaviors or values are recognized, they are more likely to adopt those behaviors themselves. To successfully change the culture, organizations should reward employees who align with the new values they want to promote. For example, if a company wants to focus on teamwork and collaboration, it can give bonuses or recognition to employees who work well in teams and help others. Let's say a company is shifting towards a culture of customer service excellence. They might start rewarding employees who go above and beyond to help customers, perhaps with Employee of the Month awards or other incentives. By highlighting these behaviors, the organization encourages everyone to prioritize excellent customer service. Creating new symbols and stories is an effective way to support culture change in an organization. Symbols can be things like logos, slogans, or even office decor that reflect the new values, while stories might be examples or anecdotes that illustrate the desired behaviors. To help everyone embrace the new culture, it's essential to replace old symbols and stories that reflect the old values. For instance, if a company is shifting to a culture of innovation, it might create a new slogan like "Innovate every day" and share stories about employees who came up with creative solutions to problems. Imagine a company that used to focus only on profits but is now committed to social responsibility. They might start highlighting stories of employees who volunteer in the community and create a new logo that emphasizes their commitment to giving back. These new symbols and stories help everyone understand and connect with the new values. When you're about to join a new organization, it's important to learn how to fit in. So, let's look at some steps you can take to help you adapt effectively. 1. Do your research. Before you start, take the time to learn about the company. Look into its values, mission, and culture. You can check their website, read articles, and see what employees are saying on social media or review sites. This will give you a sense of what's important to the organization. 2. Observe the physical environment. Pay attention to the workspace when you visit. Is it open and collaborative, or more traditional and formal? The physical layout can tell you a lot about the company culture. For example, a casual office with lounge areas might suggest a friendly and relaxed environment. 3. Read between the lines. Notice how people communicate and interact with each other. Are they formal or casual? Do they seem friendly and supportive, or serious and competitive? These small things can give you clues about the culture and what's valued in the workplace. 4. Reflect on how you are treated. Think about how you are treated by the staff during your interactions. Are they welcoming and helpful? Do they make you feel included? Your experiences can help you gauge the overall atmosphere of the organization. 5. Ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions during your interviews or interactions with current employees. Inquire about their experiences and what they love about working there. This shows your interest and can provide valuable insights into the culture. 6. Listen to your gut. Finally, trust your instincts. If something feels off or if you feel uncomfortable, pay attention to that feeling. It's important to be in a place where you feel like you belong. By following these steps, you can gain a better understanding of the organization and prepare yourself to fit in more smoothly. Now that you've landed a new job, it's important to know how to get on board effectively. Here are some key steps to help you fit in and succeed. First, gather information. Start by learning as much as you can about your new role and the company. This includes understanding the company culture, your job responsibilities, and how your team operates. Don't be afraid to ask questions to clarify anything you're unsure about. Second, manage your first impression. First impressions matter. When you meet your new colleagues, try to be friendly, professional, and approachable. Smile, make eye contact, and introduce yourself confidently. For example, when meeting a teammate, you might say, "Hi, I'm Aisha, and I'm excited to work with you on this project." Third, seek feedback. As you start your new job, actively ask for feedback from your manager and coworkers. This shows that you are eager to learn and improve. For instance, after completing a task, you could ask, "How did I do? Is there anything I could do differently next time?" This will help you adjust and perform better. Fourth, show success early on. Try to demonstrate your skills and abilities right away. Look for small projects or tasks where you can excel. For example, if you notice a minor issue that needs fixing, take the initiative to resolve it.